Quick like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. I found the key first. It was sitting on the kitchen counter on a Tuesday morning, attached to a keychain I didn't recognize. A small silver gym weight charm, the kind you'd buy at a sporting goods store. I picked it up, turned it over in my hand. It was a copy of our house key, freshly cut, the brass still shiny and new. Whose key is this? I asked my wife Elena as she poured her coffee. She glanced over, didn't even hesitate. Oh, that's for Marcus, my personal trainer. Sometimes he comes early for our sessions, and I'm still getting ready, so I gave him a key so he doesn't have to wait outside. I stared at her, at the casual way she said it. Like giving another man a key to our house was the most normal thing in the world. You gave your personal trainer a key to our house. It's not a big deal, Adrian. He's a professional. It's just more convenient this way. I set the key down slowly. When did this start? When did what start? The training sessions. At our house. She took a sip of coffee. About 2 months ago. The gym was too crowded in the mornings, so Marcus offered to come here instead. It's been great, actually. Much more focused. 2 months. My wife's personal trainer had been coming to our house for 2 months, and this was the first I was hearing about it. But that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part came 3 days later when I opened the wrong drawer in our bedroom dresser and found men's clothes that weren't mine. My name is Adrian. I'm 39 years old, and I work as an architect for a design firm in Denver, Colorado. I've been married to Elena for 11 years. We met at a gallery opening, both of us pretending to understand abstract art while drinking cheap wine. She made me laugh, made me feel like the most interesting person in the room. We were engaged within a year, married 6 months after that. Elena worked as a marketing director for a health and wellness company. High-pressure job, long hours, constant stress. About 6 months ago, she announced she was hiring a personal trainer. I need to prioritize my health, she said. I'm sitting at a desk all day, eating poorly, not exercising. I'm hiring someone to keep me accountable. That's great, I told her. I'm proud of you. She joined an upscale gym downtown, started going 4 mornings a week before work. She'd come home energized, glowing, talking about how much better she felt. I was happy for her, genuinely happy. I didn't ask many questions about the trainer. Didn't think I needed to. Elena was an adult, capable of managing her own fitness routine. If she wanted to spend money on a trainer, that was her choice. Then she started mentioning his name. Marcus. Marcus says I need to focus more on core strength. Marcus recommended this protein powder. Marcus thinks I should try intermittent fasting. Marcus. Every conversation seemed to circle back to what Marcus thought, what Marcus said, what Marcus recommended. He sounds like he knows what he's doing, I'd say, only half listening while reviewing blueprints or answering work emails. I didn't pay enough attention. Didn't notice the pattern forming. Didn't notice how much space Marcus was taking up in our lives. Not until I found that key. After Elena told me she'd given Marcus a key to our house, I tried to act normal. Tried to tell myself it was reasonable. People gave keys to house cleaners, dog walkers, contractors. Why not a personal trainer? But it bothered me. Gnawed at me all day while I sat at my desk pretending to work. I kept thinking about some stranger having access to our home, to our private space, to the place where we lived our lives. That evening, I brought up again. Elena, I'm not comfortable with Marcus having a key to our house. She was doing dishes, her back to me. Why not? Because I don't know him. Because it's our home. Because it feels like a violation of privacy. A violation of privacy? Adrian, he's here for an hour in the mornings. He comes in, we work out in the home gym, he leaves. It's not like he's wandering around looking through her stuff. We have a home gym. She turned around. The spare bedroom. I moved the guest bed to the basement and set up some equipment. Weights, yoga mats, resistance bands. I told you about this. No, you didn't. I did. You just weren't listening. You never listen when I talk about fitness stuff. Maybe she was right. Maybe she had mentioned it and I'd been distracted. I worked long hours, often brought project home. It was possible I'd missed it. Okay, fine. But I still don't like the idea of him having a key. Then I'll ask him to knock. But honestly, Adrian, you're being paranoid. Marcus is a professional. He's not interested in anything except helping me get in shape. She went back to the dishes. Conversation over. I stood there feeling like I'd been dismissed. Like my concerns didn't matter. but I didn't push it. Didn't want to seem controlling or jealous. So I let it drop. That was my first mistake. 3 days later, on a Friday morning, I was running late for work. Couldn't find my favorite tie, the navy one with subtle silver stripes. I thought maybe it had gotten mixed up with Elena's clothes during laundry. I opened her dresser drawer, the top one where she kept scarves and accessories. Not there. Opened the second drawer. Still not there. Opened the third drawer on the right side. And froze. Men's clothing. Neatly folded. A gray athletic shirt. Black running shorts. Boxer briefs. Socks. I pulled out the shirt. Size large. I wore medium. I pulled out the shorts. A brand I'd never bought. I stood there holding another man's clothes, pulled from a drawer in my bedroom, in the house I paid the mortgage on, and felt something cold settle in my chest. Elena came out of the bathroom, saw me standing there. "What are you doing? Whose clothes are these?" She glanced at the drawer. "Oh, those are Marcus's. He keeps a change of clothes here in case he needs to shower after our sessions. He showers here? Sometimes. If he has another client right after me and doesn't have time to go home. It's just more efficient. He showers in our house. In our bathroom. In the guest bathroom, Adrian. Not ours. And he has his own drawer in our bedroom. It's just one drawer. I wasn't using it. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? My wife's personal trainer had a key to our house, workout sessions in our spare bedroom, shower privileges, and his own drawer in our bedroom dresser. And she was asking what the big deal was. Elena, this is completely inappropriate. Oh my God, are you seriously jealous of my trainer? I'm not jealous. I'm concerned that there are completely blurred boundaries here. The only boundary being blurred is the one where you try to control who I spend time with. I'm not trying to control anything. I'm saying that your personal trainer shouldn't have a key to our house and his own drawer in our bedroom. Fine. She grabbed the clothes out of my hands, shoved them back in the drawer. I'll tell him to take his stuff home. Happy. And the key. She sighed like I was being the most unreasonable person in the world. I'll get the key back. Anything else you want to micromanage? This isn't micromanaging. This is basic boundaries. Whatever. I'm late for work. She grabbed her bag and left. I stood there in our bedroom, staring at that drawer, feeling like I was losing my mind. Was I being unreasonable? Was this normal and I was just paranoid? I called my brother during lunch. Ethan worked in finance, had been married for 15 years. If anyone would give me a straight answer, it was him. Her trainer has a key to your house. Ethan repeated after I explained the situation. Yeah. In his own drawer in your bedroom. Yeah. And he showers at your house. Apparently. There was a long pause. Adrian, that's not normal. Elena says I'm being paranoid. You're not. That's completely inappropriate. I don't care if he's a trainer, a plumber, or the Pope. Another man shouldn't have that level of access to your home. So what do? You need to figure out what's actually going on. Because from where I'm sitting, this sounds like more than just training sessions. I didn't want to believe that. Didn't want to think my wife was capable of lying to me. But Ethan was right. The situation didn't make sense. That evening, I came home early. Around 4 o'clock. Elena wasn't due back until 6. The house was quiet, empty. I went to the spare bedroom, the one Elena said she'd converted into a home gym. Opened the door. There was equipment. She hadn't lied about that. Yoga mats, dumbbells, resistance bands, a weight bench. But there was also a blanket folded on the bench. Pillows stacked in the corner. A diffuser on the windowsill, the kind Elena liked for aromatherapy. The room smelled like her perfume mixed with something else. Men's cologne. I opened the closet. Inside were more clothes. Men's clothes. Shirts, pants, even a suit jacket. All in larger sizes than I wore. This wasn't a home gym. This was a second bedroom, set up for someone else. I pulled out my phone and called Elena. Hey, she answered. What's up? Where are you? Still at work. Why? When are you coming home? Probably around 6:30. We have a late meeting. Why are you asking? Just wondering. See you when you get home. I hung up and looked around the room again. If Elena was at work and coming home at 6:30, who were these clothes for? When was Marcus here? I needed answers. Real answers. Not the dismissive explanations Elena had been giving me. I called a private investigator. Found one online with good reviews. A former police detective named Karen Ross. I explained the situation. The key, the drawer, the clothes, the home gym that looked more like a bedroom. How long has this been going on? Karen asked. She says 2 months for the training sessions. But I only found out about the key this week. And you want me to do what exactly? I want to know if anything inappropriate is happening. I want surveillance on my house. I want to know who's coming and going when I'm not there. I can do that. I'll need access to set up cameras in common areas. Living room, kitchen, the hallway outside the spare bedroom. Nothing in bathrooms or your actual bedroom. That's illegal without consent. But I can monitor the public spaces. Do it. Karen came over the next day while Elena was at work. She set up 3 small cameras. One in the living room, one in the kitchen, one in the hallway. They were tiny, nearly invisible, hidden in picture frames and smoke detectors. They're motion activated, she explained. Feed goes straight to an app on your phone. You'll get alerts whenever there's movement in the house. How long do we need to do this? Give a week. If something's happening, we'll see it. I paid her fee and spent the rest of the day feeling like a spy in my own home. But I needed to know, needed to understand what was really going on. The first alert came the next morning. Tuesday, 8:47 a.m. I was at work in a meeting with a client. My phone buzzed. Motion detected in living room. I excused myself, stepped into the hallway, opened the app. The footage showed a man entering through the front door. Tall, muscular build, wearing athletic clothes. He had a gym bag over his shoulder. He walked through the living room toward the back of the house. That must be Marcus. I watched, waiting to see Elena appear, waiting to see them start a workout session. At 8:52, Elena came down the hallway. She was wearing a robe, just a robe. Her hair was wet like she'd just showered. Marcus said something I couldn't hear. Elena laughed. Then she walked up to him and kissed him. Not a friendly kiss. Not a quick peck. A long, intimate kiss. The kind married people share. The kind you don't share with your personal trainer. I watched my wife kiss another man in our living room while I stood in a hallway at work feeling like the floor had dropped out from under me. The kiss ended. They walked toward the spare bedroom. Out of frame. I stood there staring at my phone screen, now showing an empty living room, trying to breathe normally. My wife was having an affair with her personal trainer in our house. While I was at work, I went back to my office, told my assistant to cancel the rest of my meetings, and drove home. I don't remember the drive. Don't remember making the decision to confront them. I just remember pulling into my driveway at 9:30 a.m. and seeing an unfamiliar car parked on the street. A black BMW with gym stickers on the back window. Marcus's car. I walked up to the front door, used my key, opened it slowly, quietly. The house was silent except for sounds coming from the spare bedroom. Not workout sounds. Not the clang of weights or the rhythm of jumping jacks. Other sounds. The kind that told me everything I needed to know. I walked down the hallway. The spare bedroom door was closed but not locked. I opened it. They were on the weight bench. Elena was on top of him, neither of them wearing clothes. They didn't see me at first, too absorbed in each other. I cleared my throat. Elena screamed, scrambled off Marcus, grabbing for the blanket. Marcus sat up, face pale, looking at me like he'd seen a ghost. Adrian, Elena gasped. What you doing home? I live here. What you doing? Stupid question. Obvious question. But my brain couldn't process what I was seeing clearly enough to say anything more intelligent. I can explain. Can you? Because it looks like you're having sex with your personal trainer in our house while I'm at work. Marcus was pulling on his clothes, hands shaking. I didn't know you'd be home. Elena said you never come home during the day. So you didn't know he was married? I asked him. Yes, but what? But you didn't care? But my wife told you it was okay. Adrian, please. Elena had the robe on now, clutching it closed. Let's talk about this calmly. Calmly. You want me to be calm? Yes. Let's all just take a breath. Get out, I said to Marcus. He didn't need to be told twice. Grabbed his gym bag, his shoes, and left. I heard the front door close a minute later. Then it was just Elena and me, standing in the home gym that was really a bedroom for her affair, surrounded by the equipment she'd bought to maintain her cover story. How long? I asked. Adrian, how long has this been going on? She sat down on the weight bench. Wouldn't meet my eyes. For months. For months. Longer than the 2 months she'd claimed the home training sessions had been happening. So even before you started training at home, we met at the gym, started talking. He was going through a divorce. I was stressed with work. We just connected. Connected. That's what you're calling it. I didn't mean for it to happen. But it did happen. And you kept it happening. For 4 months. You gave him a key to our house. Gave him a drawer in our bedroom. Let him shower in our bathroom. Turned our spare bedroom into a place where you could fuck him while I was at work. She flinched at the language. I'm sorry. Are you? Because you didn't stop. You didn't confess. You got caught. There's a difference. I was going to tell you. When? After another 4 months? After a year? When were you planning to tell me you've been cheating on me in our own house? She started crying. I don't know. I was confused. I didn't know what I wanted. Well, let me make it easy for you. You can't have both. You can't have me and Marcus. So you need to decide right now what you want. She looked up, tears streaming down her face. I want to fix this. I want us. After 4 months of sleeping with someone else. Yes, I made a mistake. A huge mistake. But I love you, Adrian. I want to save our marriage. I laughed. No humor in it, just bitterness. You love me. That's why you gave another man a key to our house. That's why you had sex with him on the weight bench. I helped you carry up the stairs. Please, we can go to counseling. We can work through this. No, Adrian. No, I'm not going to counseling. I'm not going to work through this. I'm done. I walked out of the spare bedroom, down the hallway, into our actual bedroom. Started pulling clothes out of my closet, throwing them into a duffel bag. Elena followed me. Where are you going? Hotel. I'll find an apartment this week. You can have the house until we sell it. Sell it? Adrian, this is our home. This stopped being our home the moment you gave Marcus a key to it. I zipped the duffel bag, grabbed my laptop and work files. I'll have a lawyer contact you next week. We'll figure out the division of assets then. You're not even going to try to save this. I stopped at the bedroom door. Looked at her. Really looked at her. Elena, you didn't just cheat on me. You brought him into our home. Into our private space. You gave him access to everything. You showered with him in our bathroom, slept with him in our spare bedroom, gave him his own drawer like he lived here. I know. I'm sorry. Sorry isn't enough. Sorry doesn't undo 4 months of lies. Sorry doesn't make me forget that you kissed him in our living room this morning while I was at work thinking everything was fine. Her face went white. How did you? I had cameras installed. I have footage of everything. She sank onto the bed. You were spying on me. I was protecting myself. Turns out I needed to. I left. Drove to a hotel near downtown. Checked in, went to my room, and sat on the edge of the bed staring at nothing. 11 years of marriage. Gone. Destroyed because my wife wanted excitement, wanted attention, wanted something I apparently wasn't providing. I called Ethan. Told him everything. I'm sorry, Adrian. I really am. I should have seen it coming. Ow! She was hiding it. Using fitness as a cover. You trusted her. I was an idiot. You were a husband who trusted his wife. That's not the same thing. I hired a divorce attorney the next day. Her name was Margaret Porter. She was in her early 60s, had been practicing family law for 30 years. You have video evidence of the affair? She asked after I explained the situation. Yes. Multiple instances. Kissing, going into the bedroom together. I didn't record inside the bedroom. That's illegal. But the footage clearly shows them together in compromising situations. Good. Colorado is a no-fault divorce state, so adultery doesn't affect the divorce itself. But it can influence asset division, especially with this level of proof. The fact that the affair took place in the marital home, that she gave him access to your private space, that works in your favor. Over the next week, Margaret filed the divorce papers. Elena was served at work. She called me 17 times that day. I didn't answer. She sent texts, long paragraphs about how sorry she was, how much she loved me, how she'd end things with Marcus, how we could rebuild. I didn't respond. Her attorney reached out to Margaret, proposed counseling, proposed reconciliation, proposed waiting 6 months before finalizing anything. Margaret asked me what I wanted to do. I want it done, as quickly as possible. Then that's what we'll do. The divorce took 3 months. We sold the house. Neither of us wanted it anymore. Too many bad memories. Split the proceeds 50-50. Divided our retirement accounts, our savings, our possessions. Elena fought me on one thing. She wanted to keep her car. The BMW I'd bought her for her birthday 2 years ago. Margaret pointed out that Marcus drove a black BMW. Interesting coincidence, Margaret said dryly. I let her keep the car. Didn't care. Just wanted it over. The final hearing was in January. We sat on opposite sides of the courtroom while the judge reviewed the settlement agreement. 10 minutes later, it was done. 11 years of marriage dissolved in 10 minutes. Elena tried to talk to me afterward in the parking lot. Adrian, please. Can we just? No. We have nothing to say to each other. I made a mistake. I know that. But we had something good once. We did. And you destroyed it. Do you hate me? I thought about that. Did I hate her? No. I don't hate you. I don't feel anything for you. You're just someone I used to know. I got in my truck and drove away. 6 months after the divorce, I was doing okay. Not great, but okay. I'd moved into a new condo, redecorated, started over. Went to therapy for a while to process the betrayal. Started running, ironically. Found it helped clear my head. I didn't date anyone. Wasn't ready. But I was building a life that was mine, not shared, not compromised. I heard through mutual friends that Elena and Marcus had broken up. Apparently, once the affair stopped being secret and exciting, it lost its appeal. Marcus had moved to California. Elena was still in Denver, living alone, working the same job. I felt nothing when I heard that. No satisfaction, no schadenfreude. Just nothing. A year after the divorce, I was at a coffee shop when I saw Elena. She was with a group of women, laughing about something. She looked happy, healthy. She saw me, smiled tentatively. I nodded once. Polite acknowledgement. Then I went back to my laptop. She didn't approach me. I appreciated that. These days, I'm careful about boundaries. When I started dating again, I was clear about what I needed. Honesty, transparency, respect for private space. No secrets, no hidden phone calls, no unexplained keys. The woman I'm seeing now, her name is Rachel. She's a teacher. Kind, direct, doesn't play games. When I told her about Elena, about the affair, about finding them in my house, she listened without judgment. That must have been awful, she said. It was. But it taught me what I need, what I won't tolerate. Good, because I don't do secrets. What you see is what you get. We've been together for 4 months. It's still new, still careful, but it's honest. And after Elena, honest is everything. I think about that key sometimes. The one I found on the kitchen counter. The small silver gem weight charm. Such a small thing. But it was the first crack in the facade. The first sign that something was wrong. If I'd trusted my instincts then, if I'd pushed harder for answers, maybe I would have discovered the truth sooner. But maybe not. Maybe Elena would have just gotten better at hiding it. Either way, I know now, and I'm better for it. My wife's personal trainer had a key to our house and his own drawer in our bedroom. And that should have been enough to tell me everything I needed to know. Some boundaries aren't meant to be blurred. Some spaces are sacred. And when someone violates those spaces, they lose the right to occupy them. Elena learned that the hard way. And I learned to pay attention to the small things. The unexplained keys. The mysterious drawers. The casual boundary violations that seem innocent but aren't. Because sometimes the smallest detail tells the biggest truth. And the truth, no matter how much it hurts, is always better than living a lie. I don't regret the divorce. Don't regret walking away. Don't regret refusing to work through something that was fundamentally broken. She made her choice when she gave Marcus that key. I made mine when I took it back. And I'd make the same choice again. Every single time.